A little while ago, I found myself in a bit of a dilemma, and it's because I was having a bit of an issue with one of my setups, but to solve the issue would cost a lot of money. What was that problem? Editing audio. As you can see, I have a Logic project that I have open. Wow, that's hard. That's a tongue twister. As you can see, I have a Logic project open here. Okay, I'm great at making music. Like, I got a nice keyboard, I got a nice guitar, I got a really nice microphone that I've been using to record my voice as well, so that is working great. I got an okay keyboard, great mouse, monitor so I can see everything, so okay. What's the problem with the setup then? It was actually the biggest thing that is required for actually making music. Headphones! Yeah, actually listening to what you're creating and getting an idea of what will happen if you push play. I have had the worst headphones ever. And you know what it was before? A cheap $20 pair of EarPods. No, not AirPods, Apple's EarPod. Why? Because you cannot edit without a wired connection. Oh yeah, not to mention those EarPods I was using to edit the audio with, one of them had a completely dead bass driver, the other basically didn't work at all. So yeah, let's just say I was using the crappiest form of headphones ever to monitor what's being recorded in Logic, and that is not helpful. So I realized, okay, if I'm going to edit audio, I need to get myself a high-end pair of headphones. And that was not going to be easy to find because, well, they're very expensive and require extra hardware to even drive them. So I found a middle ground. These. Now, some might laugh at me and think I'm stupid for using AirPods Max for editing audio and video projects, because yes, I use these for editing too. So you know what? Let's actually talk about editing with AirPods Max and, well, AirPods Max in general. First thing I want to mention is these things are expensive, and whatever you do, do not pay full price for it. Sure, if you pay full price, you can get an engraving at the top of it, but trust me, that's not worth it. Do not pay full price for these. I myself got a 22% discount on Amazon with these, and I also had some extra funding to help me with that too. So because of that, I got these at a discount, and it really helps. And I do not think that you should pay more for that. In fact, I don't even think you should pay more than $450 for these. So you might be thinking, why did I buy a consumer grade set of headphones to monitor audio from that? Well, it's because this is a bit of a high end for consumers, but not to the point where you need special hardware to even drive the headphones. This is basically a middle ground between average consumer generally listening to music versus professionals actually creating the music. I found this to be quite in the middle and decided to test them out with that. But before we actually talk about editing with these, I want to talk about the headphones themselves. Obviously, I got these in sky blue because blue is my favorite color, and that's pretty much self-explanatory. And the headphones themselves, they are actually incredibly comfortable. I love the ear cushions on that. They do a good job at dissipating heat, though there is a point where I do have to take them off my head because, like all ear cushions, they still have some insulation to them. So they don't get as hot that fast, but still, they do get hot at some point. And another thing that I love about these is the ear cups are easily removable. So once they eventually go flat, because that just happens with every pair of headphones, I can replace them. Now, yeah, the ear cups are expensive, but they're easily replaceable. Cannot say the same about leather headphones. Now, a lot of people don't like the fact that these are made of aluminum and have stainless steel hinges and such, and that's because it adds a ton of weight, but honestly, I don't notice the weight that much, especially when you wear it. Primarily because this mesh headband here actually does a good job at removing it, and my focus is not on how comfortable they are on my head while I'm editing. It's primarily what am I doing, not just... I've actually had times where I forgot these were on my head, despite their weight. Now, if you shift your head around a lot, say you're doing a workout on a Peloton or some treadmill or something, then yeah, you're going to notice the weight of these. But if you basically sit still at a workstation like I do, editing videos or music, then you do not notice the weight of these. It actually disappears. So great if you're still, not if you're moving. Something that I don't like is the charging method. I hate how there's a lightning port on here. I do not like it, but that's the method Apple chose to put on this, and I really hope they change it to Type-C soon. Then there's other controls on the top of here that I actually use very frequently, including a volume control, except for when I'm editing music. Then because I plug in the wire, which we'll get into in a minute, I plug in the wire and then just turn this up to max, and then use the device controls to actually monitor volume and such. It also functions as a play-pause button, and then there's your button there to toggle between noise cancellation and transparency, which I can't tell you how helpful that is while editing music. It is so nice. I use that button all the time when I'm editing in Logic, and I'll explain why. So, okay, that's the covering the feature set. All of these are great. What happens when you use them? Well, for general audio listening, these things are absolutely amazing. They sound awesome. So whenever I'm doing other things around the house that actually don't require so much movement and just casually listening on my iPhone per se, which is definitely a benefit of using consumer grade headphones, you can actually take a great audio experience with you around the house. So oftentimes I'll actually just do some things around the house with these on my head and listen to music. And yeah, the sound experience is great, even better than my AirPods Pro 2. But there are times when AirPods Pro 2 are just more practical than having a dedicated headset like this. That, and because these are so expensive, I am so protective and very careful with what environments these are exposed to. And because of that, these are often in their case. Oh yeah, speaking of which, let's talk about that case. This thing right here, this is the stupidest thing I have ever seen Apple ever design. They've designed some bad things here and there, like the new iPad 10 needing a adapter to actually connect to the respective Apple Pencil 1, which, oh yeah, why does it still use Apple Pencil 1, by the way, when it uses Lightning and the iPad 10 has Type-C? Yeah, there's something stupid about that, but out of all the stupid things Apple has ever designed, this has to be the worst product they have ever made. The case. This case sucks. It is not protective, as you can see. There's holes right here where, oh, if you bump your headphones against something, then it's going to damage them. Even the way that this secures the headphones, like, look at this. Let me put these away. Oh, look, the headphones are actually still shifting about. They're not even all that secure in there. Oh, and not to mention, it doesn't even protect the headband, which is a bit of an important thing to protect, in my opinion, because you do not want this thing to get damaged. Otherwise, then you might not have headphones anymore. So, in terms of a case, this does a terrible job at being a case. It is not protective. Look, there's so much bare metal here. It's not protecting the headband, and there's even holes here at the bottom. Apple calls this a case? And then, yeah, we all know the memes where people are wearing this like a bra. My mom actually picked up the case once and actually demonstrated it wearing it like a bra, per se. And I had to tell her, Mom, are you even aware of the memes? And then I told her about that, and she's like, oh, so I'm not the only one who thinks it looks like a bra. I actually think that the case looks like something much worse. And I mean much worse. Here's the back side of the case. What does that look like to you? I'm not going to even begin to describe how this looks like because that would probably get this video taken down. So yeah, just believe me on that. And then the front, oh yeah, I would definitely get taken down if I described to you what the front of this case looks like. So, because of that, yeah, Apple, you designed the worst case for a pair of headphones ever. The case for all of your other AirPods is great, including AirPods 1, 2, 3, and AirPods Pro 1 and AirPods Pro 2. Those cases are great. Why is this such a joke? It is so bad. And this is the only way you can actually properly turn the headphones off. Just, what a joke. Like, seriously, what a joke. Because it's such a joke, I actually bought a separate case for when I travel because, of course, I still need to edit videos while I'm traveling, so to actually protect these while I'm traveling, I bought a second case for around 20 bucks to stuff them in, and it even has a little pouch for the cable for when I edit. And speaking of editing, alright, it's time to dive into editing with AirPods Max. Now, I get it. Some other audiophiles are probably going to be mad at me for not using a proper high-end headset, using a fancy high-end external DAC to properly drive the headphones, and those headphones also have a flat sound signature. Yeah, I get it. You audiophiles are going to get mad at me for this, and I totally understand you. It's just when you are at the budget that I am, this is probably not that unreasonable to work with, and here's why. So, because when you're editing audio, you need to have a physical connection, and yeah, the Bluetooth on this is in some cases spotty, in some cases not. I don't know what the deal with that is, but let's talk about editing. So here's the cable that they sell. It's $35. It is not really the best use of materials that I would think you'd want to use for a cable like this, especially if it's $35, but okay, this is the cable for it. It's incredibly thin and lightweight, and in my opinion, easily breakable. Comes in 2 different colors, black and white. And what's special about this cable, you ask? Well, here's the end that you plug into your laptop using, yep, it's a 3.5mm jack. And here's the end you plug into the AirPods Max, the lightning port, because, well, there's no actual auxiliary jack on the headphones itself. So it's actually a bit crazy how this cable works. It's taking the already converted digital to analog signal coming from the device that's outputting the audio, taking that, shoving it through the cable, and then changing that analog signal back to a digital signal, because that's how the lightning port here works. It's a digital connection. And then it reconverts that digital signal back to an analog signal that drives speakers. Yeah, there's a lot of convergence going on, and that might not be the best for latency, but actually the latency on this is so low. Like, there's a clear difference between Bluetooth and this. This drastically improves it, and that is why you edit audio with a cable. But anywho, once you plug in this cable, you basically plug that in, you turn this all the way up to max volume, because now you have 2 separate volume controls instead of a unified one. So you turn these up to max volume and then use the system volume controls to figure everything else out. And great, these things are connected. So what's the experience of using these while editing? Well, you already got an amazing sound signature, albeit, yeah, while you're editing, you typically want a flat sound signature, but hey, I'm on a budget. This is the best I can get. So, okay, at this point, yeah, the sound experience is basically covered, but here's one thing that I really love about these that you basically are not going to get with other headphones. The noise cancellation and transparency. How are these useful while editing? Well, if you notice that something appears to be wrong with, say, a track in here per se, something doesn't seem right, you can isolate all background noise in your entire room so you can really focus on the sound and figure out, okay, where's this problem? Is it just an issue going on in my room, or is there actually a problem in here? And yeah, it just makes isolating certain sounds so much easier. That's why I love having noise cancellation while editing music. And then transparency. What's useful about that, you ask? Yep, this thing. While I was testing out Logic and getting a feel for it, I was making so many covers of other songs that I know, like for example, Rewind. It's one of my favorite songs that I've ever made. However, to do that, I kind of needed to listen to Rascal Flatts' audio track in order to get a feel for the rhythm and the chords and such. So while I was listening to them via this pair of headphones, I had transparency mode on, so the first track I could record was the guitar track, and what do you know, that worked very well. I could hear Rascal Flatts playing through the audio cable, and I could hear this playing through the headphones microphone. It's very useful when you're trying to record cover songs. You can listen to the band and play your own instruments. Yeah, you can hear everything. It's awesome. I love it so much. So having that flexibility between noise cancellation and transparency on the same headset is so nice. I use it all the time. Because of that, I actually have noticed a very drastic improvement in terms of me recording my music and the music that I'm producing. For example, here's a track that, and you guessed it, that track was recorded using this set of headphones. You do not want to hear other songs that I've attempted to record because, oh boy, I hate them so much. I wish I could disown them, but that's what happens when you upgrade your sound gear. So that's why I edit with AirPods Max. No, it doesn't have a flat sound signature. No, it's not crazy expensive, driven by a high-end DAC, but this is good enough. It has the option of the audio cable, it has noise cancellation and transparency, and it sounds amazing, so I can actually make amazing tracks. So you know what? I'm probably going to continue to edit with AirPods Max for a long time because this experience is much better. So if you're on a bit of a budget but you want to invest in a higher end set of headphones so that way you can actually record music like I do, or want to edit videos in a more professional way, get AirPods Max. Just don't pay $550 for it. That's too much for these. $450 at most. Other than that, do not get them. Unless you really care about having a sound signature that these have, and oh boy. For an audiophile's perspective, these things are amazing. Alright, enough talk. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor and interact with the stuff below. My name is DeWolf, Random Alpha, signing out.